And we're back. Alright, so Little Miss Cindy's around here somewhere. I think she'll be there. Maybe she was in the Graham House 1? There seems to be a real ruckus going on outside. Father should be back by now, too. I wonder what happened. That's the Lemaire Provincial Army, isn't it? What would bring them to Legram of all places? Now I'm a bit worried.
Strutting around another lord's territory. How pompous can you get?
It sounds like there's a real VIP here.
Well, let's return to the manor for now.
Alright. Who are we dealing with? Oh. Hey, isn't that... I think that's Duke Cayenne. There's no need to be so hasty. At least give my proposal some thought. Your attendance would add an extra degree of prestige to our gathering. I'm merely the lord of a minor rural region. Surely you overstate the importance of my presence. A man's worth is decided not by himself, but by those he rubs elbows with. And while I'm sure you understand, I'd appreciate it if you didn't do anything to cause any unnecessary conflict. I'm not sure giving combat training to the Imperial Army is something you ought to be doing either. After all, neither of us want any trouble now, do we? And with that, I bid you a fond farewell. Oh, and my compliments on the excellent tea. I am honored, Your Grace. See ya. Excuse us. My, if it isn't young Laura. Eustace Albarea, too. It's a pleasure to see you again, Your Grace. I appreciate all you continue to do for my father. They must know him. Yeah, but look at how tense they are. I wasn't expecting him to show up here of all people. That's Duke Cayenne, head of the foremost of the four great houses and ruler of port city of Ordis. His authority extends over the entire province of Lemaire to the west. I'd love to stay and talk a while, but I'm afraid other urgent matters call me away. I'll endeavor to arrange another opportunity for us to meet in the near future, but for now I bid you farewell. Oh, what have we here? So you're a Thor's Military Academy's Class 7, huh? How do you... Oh, just happen to do a little leisure time reading on your class. Not a bad looking bunch. Good, good. Enough with the chit-chat. His Grace awaits. Excuse us. See you, kids. Who were those men? They don't look like soldiers from a provincial army, that's for sure. And they did seem to know about our class. I presume they're personal bodyguards hired by Duke Cayenne. Father, you needn't look so concerned. However, it seems they've finally begun to act. The noble faction has begun acting in secret? Indeed, for the past month, they've been quite active behind closed doors. No doubt they're trying to reaffirm their unity, holding conference after conference across all the country. Of course, I'm sure this isn't news to your youngest classmate. Well, yeah. The intelligence division's all on edge, wondering whether they're about to start a full-scale conflict with the reformists. Seriously? So that's what they've been up to, scurrying around all this time. Since Duke Cayenne is basically the leader of the noble faction, I sure wasn't expecting him to come all the way out here in person. Nor was I. They appear to be planning a large conference in the near future. to be attended by all members of the noble faction. The Duke came all the way out here to insist that I attend. But, Father, you're not even a member. Quite right, my lady. Your father has long kept his distance from the faction. In the same way, he also kept space between himself and the reformists, preferring to remain neutral. However, they're convinced that all nobles should belong to the noble faction as a matter of course. I've heard they've been quite forceful about bringing those nobles who don't support their faction into their ranks. Would I be correct in assuming my family is involved in all of this? I'm afraid so. There's been some disagreement over whether Duke Cayenne or Duke Alborea should lead the four great houses, but I expect that either would bring the same platform to the table. Eustace, if you don't mind my asking, do you happen to know where my family stands on the issue? Haha, you need not worry about your family's allegiances. Lord Schwarzer is widely known as an even more obstinate man than I. I can't imagine that he'd have any interest in supporting the questionable actions of other nobles. I see. I'm actually a little relieved to hear you say so. Hold on a moment. Perhaps there's a move we can make after all. I'm afraid I'll be leaving Legram again on another one of my little trips. I apologize for the suddenness, but please tend to things in my absence. As you wish, my lord. Father? Wow, well that was sudden. I believe in acting swiftly and decisively. I intend to establish contact with all the other nobles who remain neutral in the ongoing factional conflict, so as to prevent them being taken in by the noble faction's coercive methods. Ah, Father. A prudent course of action, I think. In that case, I'd be happy to come with you. Toval, what are you doing here? Ah, so you're here as well. Wouldn't miss the chance to catch a glimpse of the majestic Duke Cayenne. Did you know he left in a limousine that came all the way from Bereahard? Wait, then it couldn't have. Did it belong to the Alborea family? Well, Rufus Alborea got into it, so yeah, I'd say that's likely. Couldn't ask for a classier escort. Well, that's just 100's not good. House Cayenne and House Alborea, rubbing elbows, knocking knees. This is not good. So Rufus was here. Well, he is the heir to the Alborea family, considering our visitor was none other than Duke Cayenne. It's not all that surprising that Rufus would pick him up, but I know you didn't just come here to volunteer your company on my trip. Well, it just so happens that these guys here brought me a curious story. We've got confirmation that a mechanical monster appeared on the highway outside Legram. Is that so? I believe this is the first time one's appeared since the counteroffensive Sir Cassius launched 2 years ago. That's right. Come to think of it, that was the first time we met, wasn't it? It was indeed. What a strange coincidence. Have any others been found in the area? Nothing so far. This is just a hunch, but I suspect it may have been released as a diversion. I concur. Perhaps having you come with me is the best course of action after all. Alright, that's what I wanted to hear. Father. It sounds like there's a lot more going on here than just factions butting heads. Sorry, I can't say anything for certain just yet. But if we turn up anything concrete, I'll be sure to tell Sarah and she'll pass it on. Alright, here's what I've got for you this afternoon. A golden catch. Calling all fishermen. Could someone catch me the elusive golden salmon? Find me at Apricot's Inn for more detailed information. Viber. When you finished up for the day, I'd appreciate it if you could head to the guild and file your reports. I left you a note on the counter telling you how to do it. Nothing too difficult. Got it. Leave it to us. Just make sure you lock up before you leave for the night. Someone else should be coming in to take care of things tomorrow. Understood? We'll do our best to take care of the guild in your absence. I wish you well in your studies. And I hope you forgive me for leaving so suddenly. Not to worry, Father. I'm used to it. Thank you again for your hospitality and for agreeing to a duel. I look forward to our next meeting, as do I. You show great promise as a swordsman. I hope you'll continue to devote yourself to your studies and training alongside my daughter. I'm honored, sir. In fact, I hope all of you would look past her uncouth father and continue giving her your friendship and support. As a single father, the fact that I've yet to hear any tales of budding romance concerning my daughter has me worried. Father, it would be our pleasure. She sure does seem popular with the girls, though. I pray you have a safe journey. Thank you for all you've done for us. Catch you later, then. Give my best to Sarah, will you? Yeah, we might. I mean, Sarah Sarah just takes everybody's best and just like kind of stomps all over it. She goes at Sarah plays to the tune of her own flute drum. Why must he always be so... Honestly, you've got one amazing dad. Free-spirited, open-minded, not to mention incredibly strong. Having met him, I can tell how you grew up like you did. Huh? Reen's right, you know. You're living proof that great parents lead to great children. I suppose having someone like him in your life as a role model would naturally lead you to aspire to greatness. Well, that, or feel woefully inadequate in comparison and develop an inferiority complex. But all told, you're living proof the daughter of the Arcade house has grown up in sound mind and body. Stop teasing me at once. Moving on, Toval has entrusted us with looking after the guild. We may have only half a day remaining, but we still have our duties to fulfill. Look at her trying to change the subject. I am not. Laura, you're adorable. You're adorable. Alright, here's our hidden quest. Hey there, Cindy, what brings you here? Oh, good day. You wouldn't happen to have seen Toval today, would you? I did, but I'm afraid he's currently out of town attending to some business. I see. Do you need something from the guild? It's nothing too important. Well, Toval did leave us in charge of the guild for the day. Oh, yeah. And we're right here, so just ask us if you need anything. That's right, helping others is what the guild does, and that's what we're here for, too. Lady Laura, I can't simply ask you to give up your time for my sake, but if you insist, then I suppose... I happen to be looking for some luminous grass, you see. Oh? I can't recall ever hearing of such a plant before. I assume it's well known here in Legram? That's right, it's a rare flower that grows in the surrounding countryside. It has the unusual trait of blooming only on sunny days and only when the previous day was foggy. That certainly is unusual. I guess that'd make today an ideal day to go find some then. That's correct. That's why I made my way to the guild to ask Toval to find some for me, but as you just informed me, he isn't in today. I can't really go out into the highway on my own because of the monsters, though. So I'm at a loss as to what to do. So would you be willing to go and gather some for me instead? Absolutely. Leave it to us. Really? Thank you so much. I have a pretty good idea as to why you might want it, but allow me to ask. I assume you're planning to make a charm, right? That's correct. A charm? In the Gram, when someone you hold dear embarks on a long journey, it's a tradition to make a charm for them. Then you give it to that person to take with them, and it's supposed to bring them good luck. Wow, I've never heard of any traditions like that. It's a custom that stretches all the way back to the Middle Ages. It's said it began when people offered charms to members of the Eisenritter as they left for distant battlefields. Fascinating. So how is the luminous grass used to make these charms then? Well, the traditional way has you place one of the petals within the charm itself. Because of how the flowers bloom, people believe that they had the power to clear away the fog. And because of that, the flower came to symbolize victory over chaos. Wow, that's pretty deep. Yeah, that actually sounds like a really cool charm. Have you ever been given one, Laura? I have, actually. Cindy gave me one right before I left for Thor's. Saria and Chloe both gave me one too. I kept them in my desk at the academy. When I look at them, it always makes me feel a little closer to home. They're some of my most prized treasures. I'm so pleased to hear you say that. She really cares for Laura, doesn't she? I think we can safely assume so. Back to the luminous grass, though. What exactly does it look like? It's the only flower with white petals that grows around here, so it'll be the easiest way to find it. They may be rare, but we should be able to find one if we search the Evil Highway. I've heard they're found more frequently at higher elevations, particularly near steep cliffs and the like. Well, with that much information, we ought to be able to find one. Let's start the search while we still have plenty of daylight. Yeah, time for flower power. Thank you very much, and good luck. Okay. Time for flower power indeed. Evil Highway's this way. Time for flower power, but also time for moon prism power? Okay. Evil Highway, we're gonna go this way. Ah. Fishing babe. I shall be the one who catches the most elusive of fish. I wonder what it must taste like. Oh, I simply cannot wait to find out. I want to fish. Let me fish. Let me find the golden fish of power.
It's enormous. Stay on guard.
A worthy adversary.
My turn. Yeah.
They do not like getting burned to toast.
Off guard. Fool.
Oh, I forgot those jerks stabbed CP from me. What jerks? Oh, that'll do. Oh my, what pretty flowers. They look so clean and white. Are these luminous grass? They are. You can still see beads of dew clinging to them. The sunlight shining through the droplets makes these flowers shine. They're so shiny. Here, allow me. Alright, we should take this back to Cindy at once. Right, let's not waste time. Indeed. Alright, easy peasy quest.
My turn.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Right, height. Fool.
Now.
Freaking knocked the secret right out of me.
That's the power of the 8 leaves.
Here they come.
Go.
Be careful, everyone.
Oh, brother.
Right.
Yeah. Arcus activated.
Stand down. Back up.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for covering for me, Laura. Getting hit kind of hard here.
Okay, it's safe for now. Now's our chance. Let's get him.
Oh, she had 0 arts active. No.
Finish.
Of course. My turn. Okay.
Not yet.
Of course. Here I go.
Punch.
Don't mess with us.
Damn, Eric Getlam, you just knocking their socks off, Chief. Quite powerful.
It's enormous. Stay on.
A worthy adversary. Right. Height.
It's my turn. Yeah.
Not yet.
My turn. There. Now's our chance. I'll help.
My turn.
You still have a lot of training.
That should suffice.
Treasure sword can now be used. It can seal and it can freeze, huh? That's actually really good. That's actually really good. See you later, Annabelle. Annabelle-inator. Like, I'm getting tons of
This monster
Seepith.
seems dangerous. Be careful.
And while I'm getting tons of Seepith and haven't spent any, oh man, later, the freaking... getting later
Okay.
quartz
Yeah.
is going to be
Yes, sir.
a lot expensive.
I'll help.
Right. Height. I won't give up. Now's our chance. An opening.
It's my turn. Yeah, this is it. Gotcha.
Up height.
You still have a lot of training to do.
Nice.
Okay. Every extra level is help. Extra stats are always good. Always accepted. I think I initially played through this game the first time on nightmare mode like a clown. Can't remember though. Here you are, Miss Cindy. Welcome back, Lady Laura. I see you managed to find some luminous grass. That we did. Here you go. Hand over that luminous grass. Thank you so much. Now all that's left is to make sure the petals don't wither away. I see you're wasting no time. You have a special man in mind, don't you? I hope he returns your feelings. Please don't misunderstand, Lady Laura. I might be making it for a man, but there's no special meaning or underlying feelings there. I'm just doing this as a way to offer my thanks to him. Your thanks? Might I ask what it is you're thanking him for? Well, you see, Saria and I were out on the highway not long ago, but somehow we ended up quite a distance from the road lamps. And it was just the two of you out there alone? That seems awfully dangerous. It was, as you might imagine. We were beset by monsters. However, one of the disciples of the Arcade School happened to be passing by and saved us from our predicament. He escorted us both back to town, but as soon as we returned, he left for the training hall to resume his practice. So in the end, we didn't really have the chance to thank him properly. Sounds like a pretty cool guy. I like how he departed so gallantly at the end, too. True, it was very dashing, but still. I did feel terrible about not being able to thank him for his selfless deed. Soon after, I learned that the disciples of the Arcade School all one day leave Legram to return to their homes. So we decided to make a charm for him. Your heart's in the right place and your intentions are noble. I'm sure a disciple of the school will be more than happy to receive what you call the charm of a promised victory. Yes, that's exactly it. Do you understand now, Lady Laura? I'm deeply grateful to him, but you'll forever be the only one in my heart. Yes, I think I understand what you're saying perfectly. Do you really think she has no feelings for him, though? Not even a little bit? A maiden's heart holds many unknowable secrets. Oh yes, that reminds me. I've yet to properly thank you for your help, so please take this. Fairy brooch. Did you make this yourself? I did. It's not the same kind of charm that I put my heart into making it all the same. I wasn't able to make one for everybody, but I hope it'll come in handy on your journey. Oh, this is pretty cute. Thank you very much. Okay. I will catch you your elusive fish. Just point me to the fishing hole. Oh, hello everyone. Have you come along after seeing blah 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 the request I sent to Toval? That's right. You're in search of some sort of elusive fish, correct? I am. I feel like I should apologize for asking you guys to help me with a personal request, but are you up for it? If you are, I can share the details with you all right now. You're in luck. Our schedule just happens to have an opening. Ah, thank you very much. Just like the request I mentioned, I want you guys to seek out a certain elusive fish for me. It's a peculiar variety of salmon known as gold salmon. Just like the name says, its body has a golden glow, not unlike the look of Goldia itself. That must be an exquisite fish. It sounds rather garish, honestly, but I'd have to see it to judge for myself. Have you ever seen this fish before, Viber? Unfortunately, all I know are what I've heard from the rumors. Bem, who's usually fishing at the back of the inn, is actually the one who told me about it. Its golden color isn't the only distinctive trait either, he said. He mentioned that its flavor is to die for, too. Oh, now you've got my attention. I'm afraid I'd be lying if I said I wasn't interested in a taste myself. That's certainly understandable, and after hearing so much about it, I wanted nothing more than to try it. I've been bugging Toval about it for quite a while now, and it seems like, thanks to you, I might finally get my chance to try it. Fishing, huh? I guess bracers even take on jobs like this. If this fish is so elusive, though, what are the chances we could even catch one before the day's end? That does seem to be the most obvious issue here. Is it even possible to catch this fish in Lake Ebel? Doesn't seem so, unfortunately. Ben mentioned that he did catch several of them here at one point, but he hasn't found one on the end of his line for several decades now. That doesn't exactly inspire confidence, you know. How would we go about catching it then, and where? Well, I've actually received some promising info from Toval that put me back on the trail. He claims he's seen a golden sparkle in a river along the highway several times now. All the sparkle sightings have been in different locations, though. Well, at least that narrows our search down to the river. True, it'll be much easier than trying to search the lake would be. We might be able to find it then. I know it won't be easy, but I'd be pleased as punch if you did catch one. But now that I think about it, do you have the right tools for the job? I sure do. I brought my own rod with me. Will this work? Let's see what you got there. Reen showed his rod to Viber. A deluxe rod, is it? This happens to be the same fishing rod we keep in stock to lend to customers. The gold salmon is supposedly quite a hefty fish, but you should be able to land it with this rod. Sounds good to me. Allow us to make our way then. Yeah, let's go. Back to the highway. Alright. And also back to chilling with Annabelle. You fishing for that fish too, Annabelle? That shiny golden glow. I simply can't wait to catch it. It seems like a good spot to fish, but I wasn't expecting someone to be here already. Seems to be an ordinary civilian, and a noble at that. I'm surprised she strayed this far from town. Should we try talking to her? Yeah, might as well. Excuse me, could we talk to you for a moment? Who are you? Wait, I recognize you. You're that military academy student who saved me my hour of need several months ago. Oh yeah, I think we did meet once before. Oh, so you know her? Yeah, we ran into her while we were out in Kelduk on our very first field study. Now I remember, one of our tasks involved delivering a lost wallet to its owner. And it just so happened that the wallet belonged to this lady in front of us. I see. I'm very grateful for what you did for me. Sadly, that wallet has become rather lighter since you returned it to me. Oh? Might we ask what brings you out here? I would have thought that was obvious. I'm trying to catch my dinner, of course. Some may think fishing is a leisurely hobby, but I would beg to differ. It's proven to be an essential survival skill. I see. I don't remember her being anything like this last time. So what inspired you to come this far out of town to fish? You could have sat on a dock in Legram, right? She could have, yes. Legram is conveniently situated right on the shores of Lake Ebel, after all. Surely it wasn't necessary to brave the dangers of the highway just to come out this far just to fish. That's where you're wrong, I'm afraid. A first-class angler needs a first-class spot. Easy fishing on the shores of a peaceful lake just wouldn't satisfy me. What is it with this woman? She's certainly a unique individual. Sounds like you're after something special if I had to guess. Indeed I am. I've come here seeking the elusive golden salmon. I heard tales of it from a gentleman in the Gram by the name of Bem. But he also informed me that it cannot be found in Lake Ebel, which is what led me to this spot. And sure enough, not long ago, I finally caught a glimpse of a golden glimmer beneath the water surface here. A golden glimmer. That sounds a lot like what Toval said he saw, too. Looks like this might be the spot, then. I should have known that you would be searching for it, too. Very well, then. Let us compete to see who can catch a golden salmon first. That's not really what I had in mind when we came here. That aside, we seem to have found our location. True enough. Let's get fishing.
This looks like a nice spot.
Alright. Give me that good stuff. Caught it. Well, catching it. Come on. Come on, fishy fish, fish. Thank you, fishy fish, fish.
Now that's a catch.
Impossible, with just one hook. You caught a gold salmon before me? How can this be happening? Now you're making me feel kind of bad about it. I still, thank you very much for telling us about the golden glimmer you saw. We may not have thought to fish here if not for your guidance. Fair play is a necessary element in any competition. Think nothing of it. Besides, I simply paid the price for underestimating you. It was my fault that I lost. I thought my experiences over the past several months had strengthened me, but it seems I still have room to improve. And improve I shall, until one day I'm known across the land as the finest angler in all of Erebonia. Well then, I bid you good day. Yeah, more power to you. But I want to catch a few more fish.
Not bad.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do one more. You look like a hefty boy.
Wow, this is a big one.
Alright, that's good enough for me. Alright, got your fish, my dude. Hey there, everyone. To my eyes deceiving, or is that the legendary gold salmon you have there? Defying all the odds, it actually is. There you go. Green handed over the gold salmon to Viper. Oh my, it's so beautiful. I really can't thank you enough. It's even more splendid than in Bem's Tall Tales. Now I can see why people liken its appearance to Goldia, too. So, when are you going to cook it for us? Really now? I see you're as curious about its taste as I am. Naturally, I have every intention of sharing the taste of this triumphant catch with all of you. As for how to bring out its finest flavor, riverfish tend to be best suited to grilling, so just wait a few minutes while I fire up the old grill. Now I'm looking forward to this. And to think, we got some food from one of our morning tasks, too. Feels like we've just been stuffing our faces today. And so it was with forks held high, they all dug in and enjoyed the fruits of their labor. Well then, what do you guys think? Where do I even start? Well, the amount of fat was just perfect. Sublime, even. Agreed, I never would have imagined it would taste this exquisite. I'm glad to see my earlier skepticism was wholly unwarranted. It's hard to believe that this was just grilled. Yeah, I didn't even think you could get a fish this tasty. I'm glad you all liked it. Even I was surprised at how delicious it was. It just melts in your mouth. I feel like it's my duty to share it with the rest of the town now. Looks like I'll have to put in another request with Toval. I'm sure he'll gladly accept. Yeah, once he hears about how good it is, he'd be crazy to turn down the opportunity. You said it. Honestly, though, I want to thank you again for all your help. Unfortunately, all I can offer you is stock from the store, but please take it. I wish you all the best with the rest of your field study. Thank you. Good day, then. All right. Alright, we've done everything we need. Should we head back to the guild and start filling out everything we need? Yep. We should. We did everything we needed to do. What's our recording timer? $30 minutes, huh? Not the paperwork. Oh, are you finished? Milliam is just down for the count. Yeah, we just finished getting everything sorted out. Goodness, that was exhausting. That little brat, she could have at least tried to help instead of lying around like a house cat. Can't say I'm surprised. I doubt she's used to spending this long on such exciting tasks. Oh well, we're almost finished. Alright then. Still, it really goes to show how top-rate Toval is. He fulfills a lot of requests on his own, and still has time to handle all the day-to-day realities of running a guild branch. Indeed, it's even more impressive when you consider that he finds the time to visit other regions of the country as well. His mobility and knack for solving problems are exactly what one would expect from a bracer. The guild may have been forced out of the country, but he's still out there trying to help as many people as he can. Even when we were in Berea, he came to our aid. And if you look at all these records, it's clear that people really trust him and rely on him for help. That's very true, but... is something the matter? Nah, I was just thinking. If bracers play an essential role to the people of other countries, are they not just as essential to Erebonians? Well, you may be right, and not just because they help maintain public order and provide other services. That ideal of prioritizing the protection of the civilians above all else is pretty noble. It's something people admire. That's certainly true. In many ways, it's that form of nobility that's beginning to fall by the wayside within Erebonia's aristocracy. I'm not sure the issue is as black and white as you'd have it. This guild is an organization first and foremost, and one based far too much on idealism, and far too little on practicality. Donations and public funding can only go so far in covering its operating costs. It's no stretch at all to say that with the Empire as it is now, the guild's removal was inevitable. That's what my brother said once we discussed this. Well, your brother's a loser. Eustace. Looks like his brother is weighing on his mind. I suppose that's another way to look at it. I have to admit it sounds rather cold and dismissive, but it does carry more weight coming from Rufus Alvarea. Emma, they're so big and soft. Milliam? Look at that, she doesn't have to be awake to be an irritant. Anyway, it shouldn't take too much longer to finish filing the rest of these reports. We should focus on getting everything done and returning to the mansion. Sounds good to me. Excuse me, is anyone here? Oh, you're the girl who works at Watteau's store, aren't you? Oh, Lady Laura. Is Toval here by any chance? I'm afraid Toval is out of town on business at the moment. Like, that's weird writing. Like, Laura said that Saria, Chloe, and Cindy all gave her one of those charms, and she treasures them as some of the most important things in the world. Yet, she didn't recognize Chloe? I don't know, man. I'm afraid Toval is out of town at business at the moment. Is something the matter? They haven't come home. Julian and Carnor still haven't come back home from the castle. Wait, you don't mean... Did those two go to Lohengrin Castle? Surely you don't mean to suggest they took a boat without any supervision? I'm afraid so. They said something about going on an adventure. Then they took one of the boats without even asking. It's evening now and they still haven't come back. This sounds like a serious problem. Yeah, and right when Toval is away from the guild, too. We'll just have to do whatever we can to help out. I agree, we can't just stand around and hope they'll come back. If we were to search the lake, we'll need a boat ourselves. I'll have Klaus prepare one for us at once. While you do that, I'll wake up Milliam. We'll have another look around the town to see if we can find them. Splitting up and searching the town does seem to be the best course of action. But thank you. Rest assured, we'll do all that we can to find them. The group searched the town from top to bottom, but they found no sign of the missing children. And by the time the other residents became aware of what was happening, evening had given way to night. Well, I think it's safe to say the boys aren't in town. Looks like they really did head out toward the castle in a boat. The lake's been calm and there's been no sign of a boat on the water, at least. So at least it's unlikely they capsized. I guess that leaves the castle then, right? Lohengrin Castle was once the stronghold of the Eisenritter. And while the Arcade family is still its stewards, it's rare that anyone ventures inside. I hope nothing terrible has happened to them. Their parents are really worried, too. I've asked them to stay home and wait for us to contact them, but at this point, all we can do is venture into the castle and see what we find. We have use of a boat now, do we not? We do. A couple of students from the Arcade School are preparing an orbital boat for us as we speak. It does worry me that it has started to grow misty again, though. Well, let's head down to the wharf. Let's make sure all of our equipment is sorted out and we have everything we need just in case. Right, let's hurry. Alright. But we'll be going to Lohengrin Castle next time. Until then,